Look at Mark Zuckerberg, surfing in Hawaii, wearing enough sunscreen to mimic a mime. He looks like a robot enjoying a software update. But beneath that beach, he is constructing a $270 million fortress, complete with blast-proof doors and its own self-sufficient food supply. Turn on the TV, and the talking heads will tell you to buy and hold. They say the market always goes up in the long run. But while they tell you to buy, the people who actually own the world are selling at the fastest pace in history. And here's the scary part. They're not selling to buy more yachts. They're selling to build bunkers. When the wealthiest, most informed people on the planet start acting like doomsday preppers, you should probably start paying attention. If you are currently borrowing money on margin to buy tech stocks because you think the party will never end, consider this your fire alarm. We are not going to put on tinfoil hats today. We are going to look at the cold, hard SEC filings. We are going to track exactly where their money is going and why they're betting everything that winter is coming. In the world of high finance, there is a metric that usually hums along quietly in the background. It's called the insider selling to buying ratio. In normal times, for every one executive buying their own company stock, about 10 are selling. That's just how they pay for the private jets. We get it. But what's happening right now is not normal. It's a mass evacuation. We are watching the titans of industry cash out at a rate we have not seen in decades. Jeff Bezos just dumped $8.5 billion of Amazon stock. The Walton family is liquidating Walmart shares like they are going out of style. And they're doing it with surgical precision. You have to ask yourself, why now? Why are they rushing for the exits in 2024 and 2025? It's simple physics. The market is at an all-time high, valuations are stretched thinner than a balloon about to pop, add in a geopolitical landscape that looks like a powder keg, and you have the perfect moment to take chips off the table. But here's the thing about selling billions of dollars in stock. You cannot just click sell on an app. You need a buyer. You need exit liquidity. That's where the illusion comes in. That's where you come in. Your pension fund, your retail brokerage account, and your fear of missing out provide the liquidity they need to get out at the top. It's a transfer of risk from their balance sheet to yours. Doesn't it feel strange to you? Turn on the news and they're screaming about a soft landing. They tell you inflation is under control and the consumer is strong. But watch the hands, not the mouth. Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, the man who sees the credit card data of half of America, is not buying the soft landing narrative. He's warning of an economic hurricane. And for the first time in 18 years, let me repeat that, for the first time in 18 years, he sold $150 million of his own bank's stock. If the captain of the ship is putting on a life vest, why are you still ordering drinks at the bar? Think of the current financial market as a glitzy casino located on the upper deck of the Titanic. The chandelier is shaking a little, but the band is playing upbeat jazz and the slot machines are paying out. Everyone is having a great time. You're looking at your portfolio and feeling like a genius. But look closer at the VIP section. The billionaires, let us call them the captains of industry, and the CEOs, the ship officers, are quietly slipping away from the roulette tables. They're not making a scene. They're calmly walking to the cashier cage, exchanging their chips for cold, hard cash, and heading straight for the lifeboats.
Here's the crucial part. They do not grab the microphone and scream, "The ship is sinking!" Because if they did that, panic would set in. The market would crash instantly. The exit doors would be jammed with terrified retail investors, and the billionaires would be stuck holding their chips. They need you to stay seated. They need you to keep betting. They need you to believe the party will last forever, because they need someone to sell to. So how do they keep the music playing while they escape? They use a mechanism called stock buybacks. This is the engine of the illusion. Here's how the hustle works. A company takes its cash reserves, money that should be used for innovation or safety buffers, and uses it to buy its own shares on the open market. This creates artificial demand. It reduces the supply of shares. And basic math tells us when supply goes down, price goes up. It looks like the company is doing well. The line on the chart goes green, but it is a trap. The executives authorize the buyback to pump the price artificially high, specifically so they can sell their personal shares into that rally. They are using company money to provide the exit liquidity for their own private fortunes. It is not capital allocation. It is a legal raid on the company treasury, transferring wealth from the shareholders directly into the pockets of the people running the show. So, where does billions of dollars in cash go? Do you think they park it in a high-yield savings account at Wells Fargo? Please, they know better than anyone that the banking system is just a leveraged house of cards. They're not looking for yield anymore. They're looking for survival. The money is moving from paper assets into survival assets. Why do you think Bill Gates, a man who made his fortune on software code, is now the single largest owner of private farmland in the United States? He's not planning to become a farmer. He is buying the one asset that holds value when currency becomes worthless, productive dirt. Look at the map. The billionaires are carving out fiefdoms in specific, isolated locations. Peter Thiel and the Silicon Valley elite are buying up massive tracts of land in New Zealand. Mark Zuckerberg is walling off a chunk of Hawaii. They are accumulating gold. They are drilling water wells. They are building independent energy grids. Now, the skeptics might say, oh, come on, maybe they just want to retire. Maybe Mark just wants a quiet place to surf and raise his kids. That is a cute thought, but it is dead wrong. Mark Zuckerberg is 39 years old. Jeff Bezos is busier than ever trying to colonize space. These are not men who slow down. These are men who analyze risk for a living, and their algorithms are flashing red. They are hedging their bets against a specific type of catastrophe. This brings us to the twist, the real reason they're digging holes in the ground. It's not just about nuclear war or climate change. Those are threats, sure, but the real threat, the one they discuss in hushed tones at Davos, is you. They know exactly what their technology is about to do to the economy. They know that artificial intelligence and advanced automation are on the verge of making vast swaths of the global workforce obsolete. Historians call it the rise of the useless class. Millions of truck drivers, accountants, writers, and coders suddenly without economic value. When you take away a man's ability to feed his family, he does not just quietly fade away. He gets angry. He looks for someone to blame. The billionaires know that when the social contract breaks, the pitchforks come out. That $270 million compound in Hawaii, the blast doors are not just there to keep radiation out. They are there to keep the angry mob out. They are not afraid of the end of the world. They are afraid of the end of the world order that they created. Economists love to talk about the great wealth transfer, usually referring to boomers passing money to millennials. But the real wealth transfer is happening right now, and it's moving in the opposite direction. It's a transfer from dumb money, that's the retail investors buying the peak, to smart money, the insiders selling the peak.
Here's the brutal reality of the cycle. They sell high, you buy high. The market eventually corrects, your portfolio drops 50%, you panic, you sell low to salvage what is left, and guess who is waiting with piles of cash to buy your assets back for pennies on the dollar? The exact same people who sold them to you in the first place. They are not just exiting the market, they are preparing to own the recovery while you are still licking your wounds. You cannot build a $200 million bunker in Hawaii. I get that, but you can mimic the mindset. You can stop holding 100% of your net worth in paper assets, stocks and bonds that rely entirely on a functioning banking system. You can stop drowning in the debt that enslaves you to their interest rates. Do not just sit there and doom scroll. Here's a 7-day protocol to stop being a victim. Step 1. Audit your portfolio this week. If your cash reserves are sitting at 0 or less than 10%, you are driving 100 miles an hour without a seatbelt. You need dry powder for when the sale starts. Step 2. Look into precious metals. I'm not talking about trading mining stocks. I'm talking about physically backed ETFs or the real thing. It is not an investment. It is insurance against the printing press going nuclear. Step 3, and this is the one that makes people uncomfortable. Buy 3 months of non-perishable food and water. You might think that sounds paranoid. You might think that sounds crazy. But Mark Zuckerberg is building a blast-proof door and a self-sustaining farm. If the guy with all the data is preparing for a supply chain collapse, maybe buying a few extra bags of rice is not crazy. Maybe it's just the most rational trade you'll ever make. In the end, words are cheap. The press releases, the television interviews, the optimistic tweets, they're all just noise designed to keep you distracted. But capital never lies. When the very architects of this financial system start quietly dismantling their positions and retreating to fortified compounds, that is not a coincidence. That is a giant neon sign flashing in the dark. It's the ultimate signal that the system is about to be reset. They're pulling the ladder up after they've already climbed to the top. You do not need $1 billion to survive what is coming. You do not need a private island in the Pacific. You just need to stop being the most naive person in the room. You need to accept that the casino is rigged and stop playing by the rules they wrote for you. When you see the wealthiest people in the world putting on heavy raincoats and boarding up their windows, it doesn't matter if the sun is still shining outside your window right now. You grab an umbrella. You prepare for the storm. Because by the time the rain actually starts falling, it will be far too late to find cover. They're building bunkers made of concrete and steel to protect their bodies. We're building a bunker of knowledge to protect your future. We're tracking their moves so you are not left holding the bag when the music finally stops. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You want to make sure you're on the right side of the wall before that heavy metal door slams shut.